to be demonstrating how I crochet this monkey Rattle.
So for this monkey, we are going to be using a stitch marker. We have a brown and a cream color. You only need a little bit of the cream color because the cream color is only for the nose. And this yarn is 24/7 cotton. It's a medium 4 weight yarn. If you use regular acrylic yarn, then I would suggest, instead of a 2.0 millimeter crochet hook, I would suggest using the 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and it will be a little bit larger than what my monkey comes out to be. Okay, so we are going to begin with our dark brown yarn. And we're going to begin with a magic circle. And how I do my magic circle, in case you are new here, welcome. I do a slip knot, chain 1, and then you make a circle with this tail, and we're going to do 6 single crochets in the magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are going to pull this tight. And in the first single crochet, we are going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So that'll be 12 single crochets total. So we have 1, and I crochet over my tail here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and then I am going to insert my stitch marker into that last single crochet that we just made. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Again, 2 single crochets into the same stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And we're going to complete this pattern until we meet our stitch marker. So here's my 2 single crochets, and then I'm going to pull this out, do 1 single crochet, our last single crochet, reinsert this. For this row, we are going to do 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the second stitch, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next. And then we'll do 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet. Okay, I'm going to finish this and I'll meet you guys back once I meet my stitch marker. Okay, for the next row, we are going to do 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochet in the same stitch, 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Okay, for this row, we are going to do 2 single crochets in our first stitch, and then we will do 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we, just so it doesn't sound repetitive, we are going to be doing this pattern until we reach 6 single crochets for our increase row. So just to let you guys know, I am going to continue going through each of them, but if you're like, oh my gosh, when is this going to stop? We are going to stop once we get to our single crochet 6 for our increase row, and then it's going to change. And so yeah, we'll be there in just a moment. Alright, 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Two single crochets into the same stitch, 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Alright, I'll meet you guys back here when I'm done. Now we'll do 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 single crochet, or 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, be back in just a moment. For this next row, we are going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch. So for this row, we are not going to do any increases. So there should have been 48 stitches total in that last row. And then for the next row, we are going to do 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we are on row 11 right now, and for rows 11 through 16, we are going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch around. And right now, we have a total of 54 stitches. So I will meet you guys back here once I am done with row number 16. So now we're going to start doing our decrease rows. We're going to do single crochet 2 together. And the best thing to do on things like this where it'll be visible is you do a invisible decrease. And so what you do is you insert let's see if this will focus. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not focusing. So what we do is we insert our hook into the front of our first stitch, and then we insert our hook into the front of our second stitch, pull through both of those loops, and then we will yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. Okay, I'm going to go over that again because I'm not sure why it was not focusing, but I seem to get it to focus now. Okay, so what we do is our first loop, we go in just the front loop, and then in the second loop, we insert our hook into the front loop of our second single crochet, yarn over, pull through, oops, let me do that again, pull through both of those loops. Now you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through those last 2. So that is what you call an invisible decrease. Now we're going to do a single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to do that invisible decrease again. So insert our hook into the front loop of our first one and our front loop of the second one, pull through both of those front loops, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. Okay, and then 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. For this next row, we are going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch around, totaling in 42 single crochets. Okay, so sorry guys, I just pulled out that row. So what we should have been doing is single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet 7 stitches, not 6. I had a feeling that I skipped over a row for some reason. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. So for row number 17, you're going to do single crochet 2 together, and then you're going to do single crochet 7 in the next 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So after row 17, I'm on, and then for row 18, we're going to do single crochet 48 all the way around. So now I am on row number 19, and we're going to do single crochet 2 together, and then we're going to do single crochet 1 in the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, single crochet 2 together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for row 20, we're going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch around, and now on this row, it's going to be a total of 42 stitches. So this is what we have so far. Now we're going to grab our 12mm safety eyes, and then they come with backs. I got this little kit off of Amazon. It comes in sizes as small as 8mm safety eyes up to 14mm for like larger teddy bears and stuff. So we're going to place these safety eyes between rows 14 and 15. So here is the top, and I'm going to place the eyes on this side. So I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So right and if you're having issues with getting it in, what helps is if you use your crochet hook. So there's going to be 3 stitches between these eyes. So if you kind of pull that one out a little bit and then count 1, 2, 3, so this will be where the next hole goes. If you carefully, oops, don't do that. If you carefully do that, then the eye will go in there maybe a little bit easier. Okay, and this looks really goofy right at this point, but stick with me here, it will turn out looking like a monkey. Okay, and then we just place the backs on. And then I always pull on them to make sure that they aren't going anywhere. Okay, and then grab some stuffing, and we're just gonna place some stuffing in here, some polyfill. We'll just start with that amount at this time because you do not want to get stuffing in your crochet hook as we're crocheting around, because we're going to want to push this down, because if you get it in your yarn, it's going to just look like it's falling apart. So for our next row here, we are doing single crochet 2 together and then 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So let's start with our single crochet 2 together, and then in the next 5 stitches 1 single crochet. There's 1, oops, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then crochet 2 together. Row 22, 1 single crochet into each stitch around, totaling in 36 single crochets. Row 23, single crochet 2 together, single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet 2 together, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet in each stitch around, totaling in 30 single crochets. Before I go on to the next round, I'm just going to add a little bit more stuffing. Stuffing it as you go may be a little bit of a pain, but it sure does help with the top of it, shaping it and making sure that stuffing is up there really well. It can be a little bit harder later on. Okay, so for the next row, we are going to do single crochet 2 together, and then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So here's our single crochet 2 together, and then we have 1, 2, 3. Single crochet 2 together, single crochet 1 in the next 3 stitches. Okay, so for our final row here, we are going to do single crochet 2 together, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and then single crochet 2 together. Okay, so at the end here, I'm just going to slip stitch into the next stitch. I'm going to cut a tail, leaving it a pretty good distance because we are going to be sewing this together later on. And I choose to add rattles in this so that when a baby shakes it, it will make the noise. I add 2 of them in here. So yeah, they're just little rattles, and you want to try to make them land on the outside, because if they're in the middle of the stuffing, then you won't be able to hear them very well, and it will require a lot more than 2. So I push these in, and like I said, try to get them to the edge, but where it's not too noticeable that they are in there. So that's what it sounds like so far. Now I'm just going to stuff it the rest of the way with my stuffing. So here is our head so far. It doesn't look like such a cute monkey yet, but it will get there. Now we're going to move, and here's what it sounds like. And now we're going to move on to the ears. So for the ears, we are going to begin with a magic circle. And in the magic circle, we are going to do 6 single crochets. And then in the first single crochet, we are going to do 2 single crochets, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in each of the remaining stitches. So that'll be a total of 12 single crochets. And I'm going to place my stitch marker in that last single crochet. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the following. And then 1 single crochet in the next, and then 2 in the following. And complete this until we reach our stitch marker there. Row, we are going to do 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And then 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an increase. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 single crochets in that last stitch. And then we are on row number 5, and row number 5 all the way to row number 7. We're just doing 1 single crochet into each stitch around. And I will meet you guys back here when I am done with row number 7. We are going to do single crochet in the next 5 stitches. And then we're going to do single crochet 2 together. And then 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. And then in our next row, we are going to do single crochet in each stitch around, and that'll make a total of 18 single crochets. And then for our final row of the ear, we are going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then single crochet 2 together. And we're going to complete this until we meet our stitch marker again. Okay, so now what I do is I fold my ear in half like this, and I go into that for the next single crochet, and then I sew all the way through. So as you can see, like that, I go all the way through, and through both layers I'm going to do a row of single crochets. And then do a chain 1 at the end. That will secure the end, and then you want to leave a nice long tail because we will use this tail to sew this onto our monkey. So here we are so far. Actually, right now it kind of looks like Baby Yoda. Okay, so I am going to off camera go and sew another ear, and then I will meet you guys back here with our cream color yarn, and we will then work on the snout. So to begin with our snout, we are going to chain 12. And you do want this chain to be pretty tight, or else there will be holes in the snout once we're done. Okay, so now in the second chain from our hook, we are going to do a single crochet, and we're going to do a total of 10 single crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then in the last single crochet, we are going to do 3 single crochets in that last chain. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then we will pull that tight, and then working along the other side, we're going to do 9 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is what we have so far. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next one. So that is over here. So we're going to do 2 single crochets in this stitch. So 1, 2, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then we're going to do 9 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, so there's 1 stitch, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets in this in the third stitch. Okay, and that made a very nice rounded edge. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets in the next 9 stitches. Okay, and that made a very nice rounded edge. And then we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 and then 2 single crochets in the second one. Okay, now I am going to place my stitch marker. And we're on row 3 right now, so we're going to make row 3 to row 5 is 1 single crochet into each stitch around. And we have a total of 30 stitches. So I will meet you guys back here when I am done with row number 5. Like I said, we're going to only do 1 single crochet into each stitch, each stitch all the way around. So I'm just finishing up my last couple of single crochets. And then I am going to end on a slip stitch. And then cut a long tail because we are going to use this to sew it onto our monkey. And don't worry if you didn't crochet over top of this tail because we're just going to stuff that in there with our stuffing as we put it on the monkey. Okay, I am going to try my best in this process of my hands not getting in the way, but it is a little difficult to completely stay out of the way as I sew things on. So I'm going to get my yarn needle. I'm going to start with the snout. We're going to bring our head over here. And what I do is just place it on here, trying to make it as centered as possible. And we're going to go right directly underneath the eyes. Okay, so that looks about good. Okay, and then, so that's how I start it, and then I go right into the stitch there. Oops. And then I wrap it around the following stitch. We're going to do a couple of these without pulling it all the way tight. And okay. Oops, I got it all tangled. There we go. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so as you see there, maybe not. There we go. So this is how it's going to be attached, and the way that we attach it, it's actually turns out really nice where you don't see the me sewing it on. So I just keep on, I'm going to keep on doing this all the way across the top. staying in that same line right underneath those eyes. Pulling it as tight as can be without breaking the yarn. You do not want to pull it so tight that your yarn breaks. That's why I like using the cotton yarn, because it is much more durable, I guess you could say, stronger than acrylic yarn. It also is a lot easier for it to be washed, like since they'll probably be chewing on this and not just the wooden ring. It also is really nice because it doesn't fuzz, where if you make anything with acrylic yarn and you brush something up against it, it will start fuzzing, where the cotton yarn does not do that. Okay, so let's see where we are at here. Okay, making sure that we are still even. Making sure that over here we get the same amount on the other side. Okay, let's see. I think this is going to be my turning one down along the side. Okay, so I am going to continue doing this all the way around. Once I'm going to do a little bit more, and about when I get to the bottom here, I'm going to fill it full of stuffing. Because actually here, I'll just keep you guys on here. I just didn't want to make this video too long. But I want to be sure to show you guys how I do it, and to give a little bit of pointers while I am at it. Okay, so now I'm going to be going straight across the bottom. Ow. Try not to poke yourself. Okay, I'm going to get some stuffing in there. Okay, and I think that is going to be enough. Okay, and I am going to just continue with the rest of that, and then I'll be back here. We're going to add some X's on here for like the little nostrils, and then we'll get his ears on. To make the nostrils, just grab some dark brown yarn and your needle, and don't need very much at all. This is a perfect length. And you can just go in through the bottom of the nose there, or the snout. Leave a little bit out, and then we'll go down here. Like I said, we're just going to make an X. And then we'll go on over to the other side. So as you pull that tight, there's one of the X's. And then on the other side, which actually I think I want it back one. Okay, and then down here, up here. And then go out that same one that we came in through. Okay, there's our nostrils. Now, just tie a knot in this. Cut that and then just push it right in the snout. Usually I don't use scissors for this, but there we go. So there's our nose. Okay, time for our ears. This is what's going to make it look like an actual monkey. Okay, so I just hold the ears off to the side. I like to go a couple of rows, starting a couple of rows above the eyes. So approximately here. Oops. I had a feeling that was going to happen at some point. So once you pull that first time through, you can check to see how it looks, and I like the position of that. And then we will just go down a straight line. And the best thing to do if you don't like how these are coming out is to do a few of them, because you'll definitely get a hang of it. I haven't made this in a while, and I had a Etsy order for one of them, and I'm like, you know, probably people would like a video of how to do this. But yeah, as with anything, do it a few times, you get the hang of it a lot better. The result comes out a lot better. Okay, and then I go along the bottom and the back. Oops. And then I do the top as well. And then once that's done, I poke it in, and then I come out in the back. Oops. Okay, so there is one ear. I am going to go and put on the other ear, and then I'll meet you guys right back here. And then to finish up this one here, I just poke in, and then I come out the same hole as our other string did. Which I'm not going to be able to do because one of my rattles in there is in the way. So I'll come, oops. Come out over here. Okay, and then tie a knot in this. Cut. And then push these into the head. Okay, so there is our monkey so far. Let's get him on our ring. You're gonna need a teething ring. Make sure that it is certified as a baby teething ring. This one here is about 2.8 inches, so almost 3 inches. And then I switch to a 3.5 millimeter hook, and we're going to grab our brown yarn. We're going to slip stitch, and we're going to chain 16. Okay, and then in the second chain from the hook, we are going to single crochet in that stitch, and then each of the remaining stitches. And then at the end of this row, we are going to chain 1 and do the same thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this until our piece can wrap around the wooden ring. And this is another reason why I like to use the cotton yarn instead of the acrylic yarn, is for this part, the cotton yarn seems to not move on the wooden ring as much. Okay, so we'll chain 1, turn our work, and then I'm going to do a couple of these rows, and then I'll be back here to show you guys what we are looking for. Okay, so I have so far done 5 rows, and what we are trying to do is get it to where it wraps around and the yarn touches. So as we see here, I have probably 2 more rows to do, and I never go off of an exact number of rows for this. I always just crochet the amount of rows until it reaches around the ring, because I've done where when I first started making this, I did a certain amount of number of rows, and it never just came out the right number, and one of them was loose and the other one was tight. So always just have your ring available there and crochet until it reaches around your ring. Okay, so let's see here. I think that was 2 more rows. Yep, okay, so now we're going to cut off a long tail because we're going to use this tail to sew the 2 ends together around the ring. Okay, then grab your needle. And first let's weave in our starting tail. Okay, then get this started. And then you want to look to see your good side and bad side. So this here is my good side and this here is my wrong side. So right side and wrong side. I want my right side facing on the outside. And then what we're going to do okay, so we just attach, or we put our needle through the other side and pull that through, and then we're going to continue doing that. So I'm just going into our single crochet there and then going straight across to our foundation chain on the other side. And then as we work our way, it's going to start coming together as a whole piece. Okay, here's our last one. So there is what we have. And then I just weave the yarn through some of the stitches to secure that last stitch. And then I poke down and touch the wood and then just come back up through one of these middle stitches because our monkey is going to be sewn over top of that. I'm not sure what happened here, but the monkey's going to cover that. Now grab your monkey and the tail here. Okay, so this is going to go directly over that. We are going to keep the hole. We are not going to do anything with this. We're going to keep it just like that. And then we want to place it in the center of our ring to make sure that there's the same amount of space on each side. And then it looks like we're going to start on the side here. So I just go in through the yarn that's attached to our wooden ring. And then I go up to the monkey. And then I continue doing this all the way around, just grabbing a part on the wooden ring and then going up. For the monkey's head, I try to stay along the same row all the way around. Okay, I'm going to finish doing this and then I will see you guys back here when our monkey is complete. Okay, so just push your yarn up into the head, and then I pull it tight, cut that, and then push that into the head. And then here is our monkey with a rattle.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!